All right, we're going to start with Logan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Logan Blakesley. I'm the current Vice President of Programming for OC3. Previously, I served in SA Congress, and before that, I was the Vice President of Student Affairs at SUNY Brew. Simply put, I am running for Student Association President for two reasons. Reason number one, Sodexo is a legitimately evil institution on this campus. Reason number two, parking services at Binghamton University is a legitimately evil institution on this campus. What I want to do fundamentally is to steer the Student Association into a heightened role of activism, one that we have not previously seen, but one that I think we are in dire need of. What I would like to do as SA President is bring to mind the fact that at other SUNY schools, what they have heaters at their bus stops, they have free parking on weekends, they have available electric vehicle chargers on their campuses. Why does Binghamton not do what other SUNY schools do? That is a very important question for us to ask. And not only that, but I believe that it is imperative that we advocate for the repeal of the parking services appeals fee that was instituted last year. It is one of the most inhumane actions that I think this administration has ever taken, simply put, because it puts the blame on students for lack of parking available on campus. It must be overdone. It must be undone. It must be destroyed. Beyond that, I must inform all of you that over the past 3 weeks, while I've been campaigning for student president, in 3 separate dining halls, I discovered that there was pork and ham being mixed in with food labeled halal, kosher, and vegan. This was in Appalachian, this was in CIW, and this was in Hinman. So if any students here go to those dining halls, you must be extra careful. To tackle this issue, I call upon the SA, and this will be priority number 1 for a Blakesley administration. I will create a permanent SA dining committee to tackle these issues and make sure that students are kept publicly aware of whenever cultural dietary restrictions are being violated, or whenever health-related dietary restrictions are being violated by Sodexo. Frankly, it is unconscionable. It must be changed immediately. And in fact, I believe that many students are already aware that in the previous academic year, there were many cases of food poisoning because Sodexo is a monopoly. They do not care about quality, they care about money.
Stop. Amen. Thank you.
Great way to start.
To simply conclude, I believe that the SA must take a radical new direction. It must be proactive, it must not give up, it must not waver for the concerns of students. That is why I'm running for SA President. Thank you all for coming tonight, and I hope you all vote.
Logan, I love your hat. Benson, I hope Korea is treating you well. Hi everyone, I'm in India. I'm the current SA Vice President for Student Success. I'm Vice Chair of Harper College Council, the governing body of Harper College. I'm also a board member of the Campus Citizens Review Board, where we help provide oversight of University Police Department and make sure it's held accountable. I'm also the sole undergraduate student representative of the Faculty Senate, where we help establish academic standards and programs for this university. I have a couple other titles on this campus, but none of them shape who I am, nor my identity. I'm an immigrant to this country, whose experiences have not been shaped by the abundance of opportunity, but rather for the lack of them. It's been marked by repeated failures, and the sad reality that everyone in this country does not share an equal opportunity to succeed. Now that's part of my story. And it's stories like this that define my outlook on this world and the steps we need to take to fulfill the promise of opportunity for everyone in this university and in this country, in this world. First part of my platform. You cannot have student success without student happiness. Now let me explain what I mean by that. Last year I needed help, and I went to UCC to get that help that I thought I needed. And at that very first session, they told me that there was a cap of only 10 sessions and that the service was limited. Just like that, the trust I had and the faith I had was broken. I got the help I needed outside of the university. I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety. So I understand better than most that sometimes the hardest part of the day is simply getting out of bed. That's why student success is so crucial to student happiness. Now this isn't UCC's fault entirely. UCC is funded entirely by the health and counseling fee, which is $400 that we all chip into. So what does that mean? It means every year our student population has been growing without a proportional increase in funding to UCC that's been eaten by inflation. The university can provide extra funding, can reallocate funds from UPD, Res Life, I don't care where it is. Not all these services on this campus are essential. We need this extra funding to provide more counselors, provide more sessions, and enhance this service that we need. The second part of my platform, that you simply cannot have student life on this campus without our student organizations. Inflation has decimated this country, and our student orgs are feeling that hurt. Money is tight, and the budgets we have are simply not sustainable anymore. Now, I can't promise a budget increase for every organization on this campus. I will be lying to your face. What I can promise is I can create more grants. I want to create a public service grant.
Stop. Thank you.
Can I go forward a little bit?
Finish your sentence.
Thank you. I want to create a civic engagement grant, a health and wellness grant to bridge the gap between the amount of money that orgs have and the amount of money that orgs need. Thank you for your time.
I just want to reiterate, if you're stopped at the end of your sentence, you're stopped. If you're stopped in the middle of your sentence, you can continue it. You can start it.
I'm going to speak partially on the mic, partially just out loud. I have a really loud voice. Hi, my name is Elisha Izor, and I'm honored to be on the ballot for president this semester. They can introduce, rephrase that. When looking at the role of president, the main role of president for the SA is as the spokesperson for the entire organization and the university as a whole. There are so many different types of students on this campus, and you have to look at the varied perspectives and opinions and needs that all of those students have. In order, as president, to represent all those voices and come up with initiatives that are that representative, you need to know how to listen. Hear what people are saying and what they need, and then you need to know how to speak, because you need to be the voice for all of those different voices. I want to tell a short anecdote about myself that really enlightens why I think I would be perfect for this role. Growing up, I had 2 disabilities, dysgraphia and dyslexia, so I wasn't able to read or write for a very long time. Because of this, I learned to listen and I learned to speak. I have an extremely strong auditory memory and processing ability, and I'm really good at public speaking. I actually gave a TED Talk last year on how those 2 skills, public speaking and listening, were the foundation for my ideas about activism. And through that, I started a lot of different campaigns on campus that I wanted to lead into my campaign and platform as president. When I was a TA in my freshman year, I had so much power over the students. I was deciding attendance, grades, and I didn't get a single piece of training about what was appropriate, especially in terms of any idea about sexual harassment training and what was appropriate in my role. And then I spoke to my friends who were in student worker positions, and they also weren't receiving any training in that area. And I looked around the campus and realized that no undergraduate TAs or student workers received any sexual harassment training of any kind, which is not representative of values that we as the university should be representing. So that's one prong of my platform, to make classrooms and work environments safer. 2, this was brought up earlier in the debate, but there is a lot of financial inequity in clubs right now. The BBF office works very hard to create an equitable system, but not every student comes from the same background. And in my club, RPU, Rainbow Pride Union, we ask when everyone joins eBoard, can you afford to put money towards the club? It's fine if your answer is no, but we need to know that information. And I can guarantee I've already started conversations with Daniel about this. And honestly, if I don't win, I'm going to continue, because there needs to be an alternative method for students who can't afford to put money towards clubs. And I guarantee that I will work towards that method. And third prong, I think the SA needs to become an advocate for student workers. There are so many students on this campus who work towards the university, and now that the university is overhauling the RA system, there are more and more student workers on campus. There are policies right now in place, such as you can't park on campus after 12 and before 5 a.m., but there are jobs on campus that mandate you're there. There are also, student tutors are mandated to be there for 15 minutes before their person shows up, and if it doesn't come, can I finish my sentence? If they don't come, they are not paid for those 15 minutes. That is unpaid labor for student tutors who are student workers. So those are the main prongs of my platform. Feel free to ask any questions, and thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Galileo Savage. I'm currently a junior majoring in political science with a minor in digital and data studies. And I stand here as a presidential candidate for this year's Student Association election. But I'm sure that you guys don't want to know too much about me, but what I can bring to the university and how we can build a better Binghamton. So first, I plan to implement 2 credit courses for OCCT training to combat the shortage of drivers and make sure that travel to classes and work is fluent for individuals who live off campus. Next, I plan to incorporate driver's education in collaboration with adaptive driving services. As someone from New York City, I know how bad public transportation can be. So making sure that students have the vital resources that they need and skills in order to benefit them after graduating is important. So driver's education is important. Next, I will implement town hall meetings. These will be held bi-monthly, and present we will have pro staff, admin, directors, and red flag to foster open dialogue between our students and admin, and also to allow admin to raise their own questions and concerns and hear what the students have to say and what they want to see on campus. Bing prides itself in its diversity, yet that diversity, it isn't always seen in our dining halls. In the event that I'm elected president, one way that I plan to change that is through an initiative called Culture Thursday. So with Culture Thursday, we will implement a new culture in our dining hall every Thursday. And we will also make sure that there are performances, educational workshops to make sure that not only do students see these cultures, but students are genuinely informed about these cultures. Because knowing a culture is one thing, but in order for you to genuinely show it appreciation, you must master it. Next up, we'll also make sure that we've highlighted through SA's media platforms. Social media is the mainstream of communication for many students. So as an organization, we have to be the trailblazers and show why these cultures are important and make sure that they're highlighted for all of our students. We all have been at that point as students where we reach the middle or three-fourths of the way through the semester and you have nothing left on your meal plan. And you're like, how am I gonna figure this out? In order to combat that, I plan to work towards introducing dining stripes to our current system in order to make sure that students are able to combat the poor nutritional habits that our current system has in place now. There's no reason why students shouldn't be allowed to eat. And not many individuals have the financial means to add funds to their meal plan once they're here. One of the final things that I plan to do is revamp our president's chat. The current president's chat that we have now is one where used for promotion. It needs a revamp. Our president's chats, our presidents are the leaders and at the forefront of our student body. They need to foster open dialogue between one another. And also I plan to add a shared calendar within the subgroups. So organizations will have the opportunity to add events that they want to see in the community months before they happen.